There's some amazing research and thought in the golf industry being put into how to best practice and get those skills to transfer to the golf course. I fully understand the idea of block versus random practice, and I do agree that for putting and chipping that random practice is a much more beneficial way to get skills to transfer. But as far as ball striking goes, I feel like we're really missing the point here. One of the most important things that you need to be really good at doing is getting into your setup position and understanding what it is you do to create any particular golf shot, where your body lines are, what your path is, what the club face is in relation to that path. I'm going to show you how I practice in this video. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm simply saying this is how I do it. I'm a really good ball striker, I really do a good job of transferring those skills onto the golf course, and I just want to show you how it is that I go about that. This is my practice facility at Bent Tree Country Club here in Dallas, Texas. There's our putting green, driving range, chipping greens over here, and I always hit balls on the right side of this range. I do it for a couple reasons. This is a perfect 60-yard green, 85 yards, 100 yards. I can also turn and hit shorter pitches to here, to these two greens, so I just like it over here. But what I really want to show you why I like this is right here. I hit every ball from the right side of this range, and I hit every single one on the exact same line. I don't care if it's with my sand wedge, my 7-iron, or my driver. I literally hit it along the exact same line. I think in the driving tutorial video I say that I only do this for my driver, but I'm just going to go ahead and be honest now. I hit every single ball in this manner because this is actually how I view the game of golf. So this is my body line, which is also where my club face is pointed at address. This is my target line, my intended target line I should say. These are my shotgun patterns I'm hoping to hit. If I can keep the club face somewhere between path and target, I will hit a shot that either starts right along and comes right in this area, or cuts to maybe in here. If I get the face barely left of path, I'll hit the hot pull and also cover this left portion of my shot pattern, which is a slight double cross but not that big. Or if I get the club face barely right of path, I'll hit kind of the flare out of this area over here. This is all I'm trying to accomplish. Have my path very consistent with my body lines. Keep the face basically held off somewhere to the right of it. The opposite of this is true for drawers, or lefties or righties. Before I get flamed away on here, I fully understand that there's angle of attack. I fully understand there's more to it than just that, but this is my visualization. This is what I feel and think about while I'm both playing and practicing. Because now when I go back to my driving range, I have the exact same lines. And it really is just kind of a ratio of the length of the shot. With a sand wedge, I'm trying to hit about a 3-yard cut. So my body lines and everything are about 3 yards left. I'm trying to keep the face in this small little window. All the way out to a 7-iron from 170, I'm trying to hit about a 6-yard, 7-yard cut, something like that. All the way out to my driver, I'm trying to hit about a 10 or 12-yard cut. In a perfect scenario, I have anything from a hot pull that is 30 yards left of my target, the center of my shotgun, to a big flare that is 30 yards right. But by getting really good at getting into my setup position, I've got my alignment stick down, and I'm just sitting there hitting shots, I'm able to transfer that ability to the golf course much, much better. This is exactly why, if you remember from the tutorial videos, I show I've got this alignment stick right here, and I actually don't have it quite. I was trying to aim it at this flag on this one, so I've got it slightly left of where I normally do. But I know I've got this big tree, and then right where this bow is in the trees, all the way out to over here, so I've got this 60-yard stretch. I hit everything right over the right corner of this green, and I try to hit every single shot exactly the same. But more importantly, I want to come in and get really good at knowing what my body lines are, training my eye to see my line, and really get good at getting in that posture. Part of why I think this is so important gets back to my love of Tiger Woods and watching how consistent his pre-shot routine was. The best way to make that consistent, in my opinion, is by block practice when you're hitting your full shots, because I've seen far too many kids simply not even really understand where they're aiming it or why they're aiming it. It's the most consistent question I get in my seminars is, where do I aim? You've really got to learn that on the driving range. Let's take a look at how Tiger does it. I took because apparently I have nothing better to do with my time, and I timed Tiger Woods, so from the moment he takes his step, I started this timer. He goes through the exact same motions. He's got his spot in front of the ball, he's got a rehearsal waggle, a look to the target, a rehearsal waggle, sets in, and goes. 14.1 seconds. Here he is out on number 10 now. He's got his little practice swing. Again, he picks a spot in front of the ball like Nicholas used to do. That's what he's looking at right here, is aligning to that spot. He's got his look, his waggle, adjustment, a look, and goes. 13.7 to impact. Striped. Here he is, walks in, he's got his spot, he's aligning to that. Checks his target, waggle, checks his target, goes. Striped. 13.3. A little bit shorter club, not quite as far distance gaze. That's really, in my opinion, the change in time. Just striped it. Just striped at 321 off the tee. He's got 125 left. He's got a spot. He walks in. Has a waggle. Has a look. Has a waggle. A look. And goes. Impact. 13.4. Perfect decade target too, just left of the hole. Wonderful. Trust me, we could do this all day. I did do it all day. I did it for a couple weeks straight actually in a project that I was doing, trying to figure out the standard deviations of how long his pre-shot routine took. But the point is, if it's taking him basically 13.5 seconds on average, does that look like he's got a bunch of random thoughts in his head like, oh, don't miss it left, don't hit it right, don't do this, don't do that? No, he's on an absolute loop in his mind of the exact same mental chatter, which is what I feel like you can do a much more efficient job of creating for yourself via block practice in your long game on the driving range, and then that will transfer to the golf course very, very well. That's how I did it. It's how many of the best players in the world do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong for you. It's just an idea for you to learn what your body lines need to do in relation to your target, your shot, your shape, and hitting your shotgun pattern to perfectly blanket a target. Half left, half right, half long, half short. And then that's what you're going out on the golf course and using Decade to strategize your way around.